Coming off day 3, first day in pads, I thought it was a good work day. I thought the guys came with the right mentality. Obviously going three practices in 4 days. Wanted to have a little bit of a push here at the front end of it, just in installation. Obviously, trying to get the foundation set and built. But today, got a chance to see the. One of the most important elements is the physicality, the knockback, things that we're trying to instill, just in all positions. And I thought there was, the right attitude, right mindset. I think we're continuing to do a better job of bursting to the ball, really on both sides. Trying to push tempo, trying to make sure that we reinforce the importance of where your effort will make the difference, and to having a relentless pursuit, whether you're an offensive lineman down the field, whether you're a backside corner, whatever that position is. Man, we want to see guys fly into the ball. I thought it was a good day. Had some explosive plays on both sides. Defense able to punch a couple balls out, which I like seeing. Just that. The pursuit and opportunity to create takeaways. Obviously, got to do a better job of owning the ball. Especially some of the young guys there, offensively. But then offensively, I thought we did a good job. Had some explosive plays that showed up, some big runs, a couple of vertical shots, down the field, and just a great opportunity with some back and forth. But I thought guys came out and competed. We've kind of kept the music, and distractions down a little bit, just to be able to hear communication. Want to hear guys communicating on the field, bringing that mentality without any, outside, I guess encouragement, as we roll through it. I thought they did a good job in it. But some guys, it was the first padded practice, had some anxiety, probably, pushing through, probably everybody, but also just some of the newcomers. But I thought all in all it was a good work day. I was really pleased, with this being our legacy weekend. We had 12 NFL players that were back, that were here, kind of supporting the guys. Just being able to, to be around, be present. It was great seeing them and the relationships that they've built in their time here at Florida State. Being able to have them back. Had an event last night. And then, obviously a few of our legacy players that have come back for the weekend. I'm just grateful for, that example, and just how they represent Florida State. So, all in all, it was a really good morning, and I'm excited about where we are after 3 days.
Right, Chris, with regards to physicality, when you evaluated last year, is that somewhere you want to change something, amp it up, do it?
Yeah, I mean, you got to, toughness and physicality have to be earned, and it's got to be something that you embrace, in every moment. You don't get to pick and choose when you're going to be tough. It's got to show up in good days, bad days, whatever circumstance might be. The physicality, that comes from trusting technique, fundamentals, and obviously all the work that you do in the weight room to be able to put that on display. So it's about earning that physicality. It's about developing and building that toughness, and then the consistency of what it's going to show up.
Brendan, with the physicality, emphasizing that, is there like a change in how often you guys hit, or is that something that you guys, something we were asked a lot about on the message boards, like how often you felt like in practice now?
I mean, we hit a lot, throughout the years. It's so I would say, we try to be smart with the physicality, just on how many times we get guys, to the ground and in piles, things like that. Just trying to, limit, some of it. But we're going to hit.
Sure. Following up on that, Coach, how do you balance wanting to be physical but also keeping guys fresh and healthy? You mentioned obviously it's 3 practices in 4 days. Like, what goes into the practice? How much does Coach Storm kind of have an opinion into that as well?
Oh, I mean, it's everything we do. It's a coordinated approach to make sure we're putting our guys in the best position. We try to use each metric of the workload that they've done. Try to have a balance with it, but also there's going to be a push, and at times when there's going to be some uncomfortable moments, and where you got to make a choice of what you want it to be when it's uncomfortable. So we're going to help guys, grow in those times of adversity, and when it is taxing. It's part of the reason why we started the way we started here early, and we're going to continue to build upon that, throughout the course of this spring. But I mean, it's a fair balance. It's something that, I think over the years, we've done a good job of managing, and then, we needed to look a certain way, and that comes down to a player's choice.
You guys have always done, drills to get the defense players to knock the ball out, things like that. But you guys didn't create any turnovers last year. Is it more technique, effort?
Yes. Everything you just said, yes. I mean, it's all, where it can be better. And, we had some missed opportunities where we didn't finish plays. We had some opportunities, to be able to create takeaways. And then there's some things that, obviously I think we can do to help put our guys in a better position to make that happen. And, but every bit of it, does matter. Your effort, your physicality, your making sure that your technique and you capitalize on it. But we've seen it at a really high level, and then there's obviously a year ago we were extremely poor in that regard. So it is a big focus, and obviously we got to go get the ball.
Kurt, the returning guys and then the guys you brought in at linebacker, I guess, how have you seen them take to the change in the defensive scheme, and maybe if they played a role in the against the run or punch the ball out?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think those guys are doing a good job of, as we, kind of working through, some new elements within our scheme, just the versatility of how those guys can be used within this defense. A lot of competition in that room, and I thought, I've seen some of the returning guys that have really taken some positive strides where you've seen their flash, whether it's Juice Cryer. I thought Blake, had some flash moments. Today, Omar, all of them have had good moments in these first 3 days, and then I thought Elijah and Stefan, they really had some good plays today. I felt their presence. Caleb, was a little limited here, coming off an illness over the break, and so we're trying to be smart with him coming in. But I've liked what I've seen from him as well, and so you couple that with the young guys we have. I mean, I think it's going to be a chance to be a really dynamic group in the ability, and just the way those guys are pushing each other.
Quarterback-wise, how did Tommy do as well as the other guys?
Good. I mean, I thought he had a good day. I mean, hit a couple of vertical shots that were I mean, extremely well placed. You feel, his athleticism, his presence, within the pocket, and I thought I did a good job of delivering the football. Got to go back and kind of watch watch through just some of the specific aiming points, but I thought he was pretty clean today. We introduced just for a few sets of third downs. So getting some different looks, but I thought Brock did. I thought all three quarterbacks had their moments, and Brock had a big run that showed up today. Was able to do some good things. We had a couple of missed opportunities that were out there, but you've really been pleased with Kevin Sperry too. I think he's come in here early these first 3 days, and it's a lot that's on him, but I think he's handling it pretty well.
You mentioned some of the freshmen working through some nerves a little bit early on in practice. Did any of the young guys kind of settle in, stand out, distinguish themselves?
Yeah, it was. There were some good moments. I got to go back and really watch it, especially some of those guys down in the trenches. That's where a lot of the, the freshman D linemen. I've liked what I'm seeing from them, and you felt their presence. We got Kevin Wynn, Juju's been a little limited here, coming in. But I got to see him get some work today, which was good. Just seeing his explosiveness and what he was able to do. Really have been impressed with the Sear brothers. Jesse had some flash plays. Tylan, obviously is just a physical presence. But I mean, you take that young group of D linemen. I'm excited about where they can go and what they can do. I think I mentioned both the young defensive backs. The couple of the young receivers they all look like they belong. It's just now it's about the details, learning it. And it's all huge work that they're getting. When they could be in their senior year of high school. So it's pretty exciting.
We got time for a couple more, Ira.
Statistically, it looked like Tommy was more efficient last year than the year before. Do you spend much time going back and looking at his transformation, or is it more just about what he's done since he's been here?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's grown. I mean, I watched all of it as we were making a decision on bringing somebody in, and I thought you saw, growth in some areas of decision making, progression, eyes, location. I've been really pleased with his accuracy and what he's been able to do through the first 3 days. Done a good job with his arm strength. I mean, all those things. So. We looked at it all, and but you still trust what you see, and it's been a good first 3 days for what he's done. But the culmination of his career to put himself in this position, he definitely put in a lot of work, and you're going to see some great payoffs of that.
Last one, Kurt.
In today's college football, it's easy to envision a guy like Brock maybe not being here in year 3 after the last 2 years. But what's it mean that he's still here, he sees the vision, maybe bucking a lot of the trends in today's college football?
I mean, he's a competitor. Brock's got a lot of winter in him. I mean, he is, and you saw that in his high school, career. I mean, he believes in the opportunity that's there, and he's coming. He's fighting every day, trying to push himself to be better. I think he has a love for this team and the guys he gets to do it with. And I mean, yes, there's, you can look at a lot of positions now, but especially quarterback, and there's everybody's trying to see the path when sometimes that path is right there in front of you. And I think Brock is doing a really nice job of competing, to make this journey his. And I got a lot of respect for him, the way he is approaching every day, and you feel his improvement, in just what he's done. And going into 3rd year, I mean, this is a big year to take a step. And I'm definitely seeing some great steps here in the first 3 days, and expecting more as we continue to move forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.